Good evening, everybody. This is going to be a long process, so get comfortable, please. Just a reminder that the order is reversed tonight. Houston will be joining us first. As I understand it, Arizona is cutting down the nets right now. But just a couple of operating reminders. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and let us get delivered to you a wireless microphone. And we'll ask you to state your name, your affiliation, and designate who you'd like to answer your question. When entering and departing this interview room, we request that you use the rear entrance to this area. And finally, if you would like to have a security escort to your vehicle at the parking garage tonight, please notify the guest services staff at the entrance to the workroom or the security guard at the media entrance on Oak Street. Okay, Coach Sampson has joined us along with Milo Suzanne and Emmanuel Sharp. Coach, when you're comfortable, you could just get us started with some general comments about the game.
Yeah, really proud of our team's fight today. Struggled early. It went back and forth there for a while. First half, then they got a run. They got a run going. Foul trouble hurt us up front. We got stuck with playing two bigs. I think it's the first time all year we've done that. So we had to get a little organized there during the timeouts. But I think we're down 8 at halftime. I think they were +7. So we were down, what, 15? Was that our biggest deficit? And then we got 9 consecutive stops. We cut it to 1. I thought a key play was when they hit the 22-foot bank shot. That was a big possession for both teams. You know, shot clock was running down. We were playing great defense again. Then they bank a ball in from 20 feet. You know, take a little bit of the air out of your balloon a little bit until they do it again 3 possessions later from the free throw line, another bank shot. But, you know, if you coach long enough, you've probably been the beneficiary of that too, although I don't remember getting 2 in one game. But Arizona's really good. They're really good. They got a really good team. There is, you know, if Arizona had lost to Houston, I'd say the same thing. Arizona lost to a really good team. There's no shame in Arizona losing to Houston. And I'll say the same thing the other way. You know, Arizona's really good. So I think it was great for the Big 12. You got the two best teams in the Big 12 fighting down the stretch. Either team could have won the game. Sometimes it comes down to a break. Sometimes it comes down to a whistle. Sometimes it comes down to a bounce. When two teams are as evenly matched as those two teams were today, that's really what it came down to.
Okay, please remember to give us your name and your affiliation. Raise your hand and we'll get a wireless mic to you. Let's go over here on the left.
Daniel Contreras, the Daily Cougar. How did the Big 12 tournament mean to you, knowing that you made it this far going into it?
I don't understand your question.
How much did the Big 12 tournament mean to you, knowing that you got this far into the tournament?
I think we've been to the championship game every year, so we expected to.
Over here to the right.
Oliver Hayes, Buff Stampede. Yesterday, Coach Bill Self talked about how he'd like to play in the championship, but how the extra day of rest is beneficial for March Madness. But obviously, with you mentioning how you've made it to the championship game of the tournament, each tournament, how does that? How can you use that? Not having the extra day of rest to use that as like a catapult into March Madness, I guess.
Well, given the choice of winning your second game or losing it, I would always take winning it. So you can lose and get rest, or you can win and try to make your team better. So I'd take the latter.
Let's go back to the right, and then we'll come over to the left.
Kenneth Bowman, Cook TV. Coach, JoJo played 35 minutes tonight. He went for 20 and 10. Obviously not the result that you guys were looking for, but what does that mean for the team when he's on the floor?
I thought he's the best player on the floor. Best player on the floor tonight was JoJo Tuckler. Joe, there's not a lot of things that bother Joe. He doesn't get confused or lose confidence or constantly need somebody to build him up. He doesn't need any of that. He's a warrior. We've had a lot of warriors come through Houston, which is by our record and track record and tournament record, all that stuff is where it is. But JoJo's as tough a kid and as tough a warrior as we've had. I was really proud of him today. Number one, for his belief in himself and the impact he had on his team winning the game. Tough guys make your team look good. JoJo made us look tough today.
Let's go over here to the left.
Daniel Contreras, the Daily Cougar. We saw a lot of personal fouls tonight. How do you feel that impacted the game?
You guys take that.
I mean, they got 13 more free throws than us. I mean, that's 13 points, and we lost by 5. So, I mean, we got to do a better job with not being so handsy, especially me, I guess. Stay out of foul trouble so I can be on the floor longer, and, those are free points. I mean, in a close game like that, free throws matter. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got to be more disciplined. I feel like back to the BYU game, we were super undisciplined and just a couple handsy fouls where we should just be walling up instead of reaching in. But, I mean, yeah, it definitely impacts the game, especially when they're making 23 of them and we're making 10 of them, so.
Any other questions over here on the left?
Coach, you've been good about giving us Big 12 history lessons this week. You've been to the title game 3 straight years. Arizona's been to the title game now 2 straight years. In the context of the conference and your experience with it, what does that mean?
Well, I think it's great for the conference. The Oklahoma team I coached won it 3 straight years. We won it in 01, 02, and 03. And I think it speaks to how good you are. You've got to be really good to win in this league. You know, the fact that we were 26-5 and 14-4. Just beat two ranked teams to get here, and lost to a top 3 team in a 1-point game down the stretch. Shows you how good we are. But the Big 12 is a great league. You know, coaches are all conditioned to say their league is the best. Well, not everybody's league is the best, but there's no question that this year, top to bottom, I think we have 4 teams in the top 10: Arizona, Houston, Iowa State. Is there 4 or just 3? Yeah, at some point Kansas for sure was. I think at one point BYU was maybe. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's and when a really good team plays a really good team, the team that maybe gets the breaks like tonight, or plays a little bit better like tonight, they walk away with the W. But proud of my team. We'll go back and get as much rest as we can and be ready to go after we find out where we're headed tomorrow, because I don't take that for granted. I know how hard it is to make the tournament.
Okay, let's go here on the left on second row.
Just Sam Lance, Field of 68, was just going to ask, what does Selection Sunday look like for you guys?
What will we be doing? We'll be at our home arena, the Fertitta Center. I think our athletic department has a deal set up where people can share in the moment with us, and I'm glad they're doing that. You know, we owe a lot to our fan base. They've been awesome all year for us, and so they'll be able to witness live and in person the moment that the brackets go up, and when they hear the University of Houston called. I know there's a lot of universities and great programs out there that sweating bullets, whether they're on the bubble, hoping they get in. And I wish them all the best, wish them all good luck, because I know all those kids played, how hard they worked to get to this point. But the most important day in college basketball is Selection Sunday, and looking forward to seeing what our draw is and where we'll be playing our first game.
Any other questions for Houston? Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Okay, Coach Lloyd is here along with Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries, and Koa Pete. Coach, when you're comfortable, please start us off with some general comments about the game.
Well, thankful. I want to send thanks out to the Big 12, for hosting a great tournament, and for Kansas City, for being a great place to host the tournament. We're getting comfortable here fast, and that's a good thing. These seasons you kind of break them down into your early preparation, summer work, fall work. Then your kind of your non-conference games, and then your conference season, and then your conference tournament. So, in every one of these, it's a little milestone along the way. I mean, we really wanted to win the Big 12 regular season championship. That was important to us, and I thought our guys did an incredible job of digging deep when we had some injuries and we're playing really thin, and we hit the toughest part of our schedule, and the guys just persevered and found ways to win games and capture the regular season championship. And then you come into the tournament, and then a lot of people have a lot of opinions on how you should handle this. And we felt like our health was good, and you're always knocking on wood with that. And once you put up a bracket and your team's in a kind of a win or go home tournament, I mean, I think the objective's simple. Let's see if we can win it game by game. And these guys did an incredible job of that, and it was quite a ride. The last 3 days, and I'm just really proud of these three guys next to me and the guys in the locker room, just for being the great people they are, and the great competitors and the great players.
Please give us your name and your affiliation. Let's start on the right here on the second row.
Cullen Avon, GoCougs.com. This one's for all the players. A lot of your buckets came from just straight ball movement and getting open. It seemed like you guys were on one accord. Could you just talk about the team chemistry and trust you have?
We've been playing with each other for a while. Each other want the ball, need the ball, but playing against Houston is never easy. So you gotta move it, gotta find each other and create plays for others. And Braden was hitting shots, Cole was getting to the rim, Yvonne was getting to the rim. All our guys contributed tonight.
Yeah, like kind of like what JB said, but we got a lot of guys on the team that can get theirs, and when somebody drives and they got two on them, it makes it easier for the next guy, and then you just make the nice read, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, same thing they said, honestly. They covered it.
I thought we said we couldn't say the same thing. Isn't that an idea? We can't say that?
I mean, I'll say, we just have a great group of guys that want everybody to be successful. So, I mean, just making the right plays, making the right reads every time down the court. It's not going to be perfect, but just playing off each other and just flowing. And Coach put a great offense in for us, so we just play together and hit the open man.
Okay, let's go over here on the second row on the left.
Coach, Sam Lance, Field of 68. I mean, this league is an absolute monster. What does it say about your team to win the regular season and now, finish it out with the tournament title? What I'll say, just for me and my experience as a coach, I was at a place where we were kind of on top of the conference, a lot. And then when we got in the Big 12, I learned real quick that we were looking up and chasing a program, and it was Houston. And, not that we were, just, fixated with the chase, but it gave us a great barometer for what we felt like we had to do to improve our program, to see if we could put ourselves over the top. So, I'm thankful for Houston and the competition they give us. And listen, I know there's going to be numerous battles in the years to come with that program, and we welcome that. We welcome that, and I'm sure we won't come out on top all the time, So, yeah, I mean, what it says is Arizona basketball is a special program. It always has been, and these guys are, it's their time in the program now, and they're honoring the legacy in a really special way.
Let's go to the front row on the right.
Hi, Tommy. It's Bruce Pasco, Tucson.com. Regardless, you're saying you're competitors, obviously, but this is a game you're probably going to be a number one seed either way. When JB goes out like that, or you have any twinge of concern of did you even need to be here?
I mean, you hope for the best, and I know how tough JB is. I mean, listen, unfortunate things can obviously happen in those scenarios, but they went in and I think they looked at it real quick, and when the doctor came out with a smile on his face before he said anything to me, I kind of was a little bit relieved. But at that time I think we were up, 14 or 15 or something. at that time. So, I'm figuring out how can we manage this game without JB to get over the top and win it. JB helped get us a big lead, and let's see if we can bring it home. And that's just where my mind was.
Yeah, let's go to the front row on the left.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Coach, can you talk about the depth of this team? Because obviously Del Orso had a huge game yesterday, wasn't as much of a factor today. Koa and Braden really stepped up today when yesterday wasn't really their day. So just, you've got so many guys capable of big games on any given day.
Well, we can, it gives us a good margin for error. Where we have so many guys we can count on. And, obviously Koa and Braden didn't have their best games yesterday, and who knows, for various reasons. I mean, let's give Iowa State probably some credit for that. And then Delhi was incredible. Without him, we're not up here right now. And then, Delhi doesn't have the great game today, and Koa and Braden kind of get it going in the game, and maybe, I think, didn't get off to either a great start. They just kind of hung with it, and then did their damage over the course of the game, and I'm really proud of Braden. I mean, I think, I haven't seen Braden shoot too many air balls, and he a couple of them to start the game, and, for a freshman in this setting to do that and then come out and still end up with, great numbers and over 20 points and hit some huge threes. At the end of that first half, that kind of allowed us to have that 8-point lead, and then we talked about hitting first in the second half, and we did. We came out, and they called a timeout right away after like a 4-0 run, and I think we were able to kind of build a lead that allowed us to kind of withstand the run they made at us.
Let's go to the second row on the right.
Joseph Moosby, GoCougs.com. This is for you, Coach, and all the players. We hear President Yormark say this is the second best basketball league in the world after winning the regular season championship and the tournament championship. I was going to ask, how does this competitiveness and going through this gauntlet prepare you and give you confidence going into March Madness coming up?
Well, these guys will tell you it. I mean, we're pretty boring. We're kind of a one game at a time team, and we're going to get home tonight and probably figure out a good recovery plan, and honestly, we'll figure out who we play tomorrow, and then, I'm hoping for a good practice on Tuesday. And we kind of just approach it like that. So I think just staying in the moment. This team's done a great job, and it's something we talk about a lot, is just, not getting, there's nothing to protect in the Big 12 anymore. That's already been accomplished. So now, what's next? Well, what's next is the NCAA tournament, and then we're going to figure out, who's in our crosshairs, and then we'll just focus on that and try to, advance as far as we can in that tournament, one game at a time.
We want some of the players as well. Jaden, you want to give some thoughts?
Just like Coach said, we talk about beginner's mindset a lot. Towards the end of the season, sometimes it's tough. You do the same stuff over and over again, kind of gets boring, but we always come in with a fresh mindset, willing to get better, just want to do the right thing for each other. So that's kind of the mindset we come in with.
Let's go to the. Yeah. Oh, you ready?
We keep it moving. They're just going to say just what he said.
Okay, let's go to the second row on the left.
Braden and Koa, just what can you guys say about Jaden Bradley, and how much have you guys leaned on his leadership this year?
He's a dog, honestly, but he's a great guy. He's a great leader. He's a great person, and not only is he a great basketball player, but he's really a great person, like off the court. So I'm so thankful for him.
Yeah, I would say the same, honestly. Big 12 Player of the Year for a reason. Really proud of Jaden. I see him put all the work in. Early mornings, late nights in the gym with TJ and by himself sometimes. So I'm just really proud of Jaden. And like Braden said, he's a mentor off the court, and I really look up to him. He's one of my best friends I've built my freshman year here at Arizona.
And then Tommy, that Ivan stretch, the banked in three, gets downhill twice, had a defensive rebound in there. How huge was that? I mean,
crazy Yvonne. I mean, he's really come on. He's been a good player for us all year, but this last, I don't know, 8 or 10 games, we've counted on a little bit more playmaking for him, and he's fearless. He really is fearless, and he sometimes has gotten him in a little bit of trouble, but you love that attribute in a player. You love a guy who's not afraid of the moment, and these other guys are getting so much attention. Sometimes he becomes the pressure outlet, and he had some good matchups today, especially when Koa was in foul trouble at the 4, and the banking in the 3. I mean, we did bank in 2 shots, so I want to admit there's a little bit of luck in this as well. Let's not act like that those were planned, but
You just want to put yourself in position to win, and if you get lucky, I mean, play the hand you're dealt. And we've been on the other side of that other times as well. So, Yvonne was great. I mean, when he kind of took over that little stretch of the game there when it got close, and I think Braden got an and one, and then Yvonne made a couple plays. The next thing you know, we were looking up, it's a 7 or 9 point lead, and we just got to figure out how to close it out.
Let's go to the right side here, about midway back.
Drew Nixon, 96.5 The Fan. Braden, Coach mentioned you have that air ball, but after the day you had yesterday and just having that air ball, where does that mentality change for you? Is it just as simple as one shot goes in and all of a sudden you get going, or is it the shoot or shoot thing? What exactly is that mindset that you have to just keep on going?
I think it's just, having confidence, believing in the work that you put in. And then, like you said, after the 2 air balls I shot, I came to the bench. Coach came to me, said he still believed in me. I'm just thankful for that. And then teammates came to me, still believed in me, and I was just thankful for them, honestly. And then, the mindset, I just think, was just, a miss. It's either 2 options. Either you make it or you miss it, no matter, how close you are. So I just believe in that.
Okay, let's go over here to the left.
Steve Walls, KONN-FM. Coach, JB's been with you since I believe he was a sophomore. Can you talk about his evolution from then and to where he is right now?
Yeah, I mean, JB gets a ton of credit. JB's a guy who's always been on the scene. He was a state champion in North Carolina. He goes to a great prep school at IMG. He's a McDonald's All-American, so he's been around the block. And then, no one knows how these careers are going to go. And he goes to Alabama. I don't think he has a bad experience. He has kind of an up and down freshman year, but he decided it wasn't for him, and we were lucky to get him. And he came to us, and we were trying to figure out what we were still doing and building our program, and so he that first year, he played a really important role off the bench for us. And but what he did, he was working behind the scenes, and he really has just refined his game, and he's got some, that shot he hit yesterday, guys. I'm not going to say I've seen him hit it a lot, but I've seen him get to that pull-up going right, and kind of get a little momentum and swing through with that leg, a number of times. So he just has really become a refined basketball player. And for a guy like him, when maybe things don't happen as fast as you want, to be steadfast and continue to work and get better, it says a lot about their character. And this guy's going to play basketball for a lot of years to come, and he's going to have a great career.
Let's go in the back on the right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
JB, from when you transferred from Alabama, can you feel your maturity, the difference between when you first went to Arizona to where you are right now?
For sure. I knew my path wasn't going to be easy. I had a great time at Alabama. It just wasn't for me. Arizona, was great. I believed in the coaches. They believed in me. They really turned my career around. And just the fundamental piece, coaches always talking about the little details, the swivels, pocket passes. At first you look at them like, I don't want to do that stuff, but it really helps my game, and the small stuff is really gonna help in the long run.
Let's go in the back on the right.
Sean Mahoney, KOLD. Coach, this question for you. You talked about yesterday the figure it out philosophy that you guys have, and I'm wondering if you can speak to kind of this group and how they've embodied it and what you've seen here over these past couple of games with that mindset. Obviously, a tough start to the Iowa State game. You had the Houston stretch here, and there might have been times where other coaches may have decided to call a timeout or switch up schematically, but you kind of let your guys, for lack of better words, figure it out. I just want to see if you can talk about that.
Yeah, I just have so much trust in them. And listen, I don't think it's bad to be on the court, trying to figure it out when things aren't going your way. I think that's really important, because you're only going to play good when things feel like they're going your way. That's just not reality. So our guys are really tough, and they persevere. And I really value those timeouts at the end of the game because they really help. And if we burned them today, the game could have been different, So I have enough trust in these guys to hang with it and to make the plays at the right time. And these guys do a great job, Of course, we call set plays, but a lot of what we do is just concepts. And these guys do a great job putting their own spin, within the concepts, that we have, and kind of that's the figure it out stuff, the beauty of it. And so to me, that's the hardest thing to play against, when you have a team that really isn't just rigid
you know, that there's a looseness to how they play and a randomness to how they play, but they also have a real identity in where their strengths lie. So these guys have that, and you know, and that's why I trust those figure-it-out moments with these guys, is because I think it's really hard to play against. Like, you know, hey, we subbed Koa in the game, ran an out-of-bounds play with, like, we had like 11 on the shot clock. I mean, Koa did his deal. He got right to one of those little middies in the paint going to his left shoulder. It was a big-time play. And these guys, you know, JB figured it out last night at the end of the game. He waved everybody away, and it was his time. And Braden, you know, just how he's grown with handling these ball screens. He was really good today, playing with pace and coming off those ball screens, and kind of got us a lot of options, and you know, created some long rotations for them. And so these guys did an amazing job of figuring it out, and that's a great attribute to have.
Okay, we got time for 2 more questions. Any takers?
Oh, you guys are the best.
Yeah. Okay, Coach.
Thank you.